CountryWide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lampp.
We've got our North versus South farmer panel on right now.
And actually, funny you say North versus South. Did you notice how it was the North Island that fell down behind Mike Bittrick, not the South? Just a little point if you were watching Mike Bittrick.
Actually, it's not North versus South. We've got to be clear on that. It is just a North and South farmers
Coming
panel.
in from the South, in Southland, Blair, Blocka, Drysdale. Are you with us?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Could you please move that window to in front of your face so we can see your face, sir?
It's sunny. It is a sunny day in Southland.
He's trying to prove
just
it.
trying to show off.
And
Yeah.
Mark Warren, has the sun come out yet in Hawke's Bay?
It certainly has. It's just here. I'm actually racing through. I got caught in a bloody, they were trying to dig her out of a slip. It's a hell of a mess out there. And I think, gee, I hadn't got coverage and I was racing through and I just stopped outside another little roadworks and right opposite Tomato Winery. So, and the sun's come out, especially for you, Says.
Thank you. One of my favourite wineries, actually.
That'd be a good place to stop. I'd be stopping there for an hour or two, I would have thought.
What's it like, though, Mark,
that,
up there, in terms
Sorry?
of, what's it like at the moment, though, the damage? The photos we're seeing, obviously, not pretty good.
Well, it was actually bloody sad this morning. My Henry's just brought in and he got a call to say they found a whole lot of his terminal ewes on the flats down the creek. And that was poor chap. If anyone knows Henry, he was so upset. He's just brought into the station, and it was just heartbreaking for him because we thought we were right. He had him a good paddock, and he tracked them back to a paddock, and he said, well, they had lots of hill, but they might have been on the wrong side of the creek where there was a fence during the bloody thunderstorm at night. So, yeah, that was just another gut kick. There's a lot of land starting to let go now. It was actually raining this morning again. Well, it's sunny now, and it's a bloody mess. And you just got to stay strong. I stopped to talk to one of the neighbours on the way, and they were just standing there looking at stuff, shaking their heads. So, yeah, not much we can do. Sympathy goes a long way. If you know someone there, give them a call. I had a great mate. Tim Dodge rang me this morning, got a big digger company. He said, mate, I'll bring down a digger. He was the one that went in and opened up the after the Marlborough earthquakes. Amazing guy. So, that brings a tear to your eye. So, yeah, anyway, there we are. That's enough of me.
Are you wanting me to go into duck shooting chat?
Well,
okay. Hey, so Blair, I got home last night and there was a fish and game piece of paraphernalia for my husband, and it mentioned about pegging, and I learnt about pegging for the first time and what it was. Yeah. Do you know what pegging is?
Well, when it comes to duck shooting, I do know what pegging is. There is a certain defined weekend where you go and peg your mai, but all we're going to do at duck shooting is peg Thompson out to dry.
Fantastic.
I told you what was going to happen here.
And he said that you let him in because you felt sorry for him. Surely he's going to add more value than just sympathy vote into your mai.
He adds things like red wine and cheese. He doesn't add a lot to the shooting. He's not that great on that front, but he's good company, got good chat. So, yeah, we invited him, I don't know, first time might have been 5 years ago, and he's been coming ever since. It's good.
Yeah, Sarah, because Sarah did understand the dynamics here, Blocka, that it's quite difficult to get invited into an existing mino. Literally, someone's got to die, right, before you get invited into one, pretty much.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, it's a bit like that. So our crew's been shooting together for, I don't know, probably 15 years, maybe, and some of us. So yeah, it's a long-standing tradition, and Fletcher joins us now, and I tend to, as you know, call the ducks and let him shoot. I have much more pleasure out of watching him shoot them now than me doing it myself. So it's good fun, great weekend, big boys Christmas. We talk a lot of crap, there's no doubt about that, but it's good for the old top 2 inches being able to talk a bit of crap and take the piss out of each other and, throw the guns away, have a few beers and tell some more lies. And they get stretched, of course, as it gets closer to midnight.
Mark, you wouldn't partake in any of that sort of behaviour, would you?
Oh, no. Only on the days ending in Y. Oh, I've got a bit of a dud eye now, falling apart. But no, Henry's pretty keen. I don't mind eating them, but I just like to entertain a few other people. With 70-odd dams, I like to share them around and make other people happy. I can do the bullshit. Quite well.
Yeah, we noticed. It is, I know we're talking about it, and we're supposed to be talking about other issues, but it is an integral part of the New Zealand farming calendar, duck shooting, opening weekend, isn't it? It is sacrosanct.
So much so that thank you for filling in for me next Friday, the 1st of May on the show,
Thank you, Sarah.
Andy. But as Andy did say, in terms of serious nature there, with regards to that clean-up up there, Mark, you made a post on social media about, maybe the council could work with farmers a bit more to support as a contractor, so to speak, in adverse weather events. How would that work?
Yeah, it's a real topical issue at the moment. Basically what happens, if you've got one tree down over the road or a little bit of a slip, downers, and there's no criticism of downers whatsoever, they do a great job, but they send out a 14-tonne or a 12-tonne digger from town, 30, 40 Ks, to either shift that one branch or a little bit of, a little bit of mud on the road. If they were to contract farmers to do some of the first response stuff, like they do in Scotland, where they have contract farmers to help with snow clearing, it would bring the cost of rates way down. I've had a lot of people contact me privately and say, look, I said it would be a couple $100. They said it's a minimum $1,000, probably two, every time they send a truck and some stop go people. And we had a crew campaign yesterday, one ute with two girls and a portaloo on the back. It's just such an expense. If they could somehow, of course, they fight again. They quote the health and safety rules. Council couldn't possibly allow us to go and do the job because of health and safety. Well, that's bullshit. I mean, we've got QBE on that stuff from years back. And if it's a first response situation, find a way of allowing it to happen. I'm doing a bit of work on that. There'll be a Facebook page for it one day, because that's going to bring down rural rates if we manage it well. And that must appeal to everyone.
Blocka, what's your thoughts on a scenario like that? I know you're a volley fireman. What do you make of that in your region? Do you think that's a flyer?
Oh, look, listen to what Mark just said. It's absolutely bloody madness what they have to go through and the prices associated with it. So, when there's farmers available, generally a stone's throw away with a tractor and digger and very capable drivers. So, look, I don't know, in Fens we have similar issues around those sort of things. Health and safety is a big factor in these things, right? But common sense has to come into play sometimes too. But, yeah, some of the costs associated with these cleanups via councils are just pure extortion. So, they should allow farmers to just get the job done ASAP and get people travelling. And, if farmers can get it done quicker too in emergency situations, it actually allows emergency services through quicker to attend to the people that really need it. So, yeah.
Mark, great concept. What would need to be in place around some form of, I know I'm not trying to put bureaucratic red tape over a really cool, just practical concept, but just to make sure that it's not just any man and his dog turning up and doing a unsafe job?
Yep. I've put quite a bit of work into this. So basically, it would be within the farm boundaries. The farmer could go out and clear the road and do those jobs within the farm boundaries. So that's put a control on it. We would have the district, we would have a list of or not just farmers, but machinery operators, because a lot of other people other than farmers. A list of people in the district prepared to take their gear, good gear, and do that. And then it would be put to the vote by all the district ratepayers. And if anyone said, if a couple of people said, oh no, that guy's absolute danger to shipping, we'd probably deal with that then. But the other thing is we just need them to, I've worked on this before, what we call a restricted access status on a road, which means when a road is, munted about with slips and rubbish, we call it restricted access. And that changes the legal status so that it means we don't need stop and go machines. All people on that road should give away to earth moving equipment and people working on the road. So instead of having a right to go through, they've got to stop. And if they get stuck in the slip because they're bloody rubberneckers idiots, it's a $500 towing fee. But of course, if a local gets stuck trying to help out, we'll get them out for nothing. But you get these idiots coming out playing in the mud and they're just a danger to shipping and hold things up. So I've got some definite thoughts. It would take a day to tell you the whole lot, but I've done a bit of work on that, and I think if I build a Facebook page for it, that's a great way of getting the word out. Perhaps we might have a chat again later on.
Yeah, perfect. Your thoughts, Andy?
Look, I can immediately, as Mark said, there is definitely some health and safety, not health and safeties, but some compliance issues around that. But if it's recognised and a structure, I can see that. And block a structure like that, do you think something like that? You talked about access for your volleys, for your fireys and your ambos getting through.
Yeah, I think what Mark's proposing is a great idea. It really is, and and the ones that don't follow direction, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? So, yeah, they get charged a $500 fee. So, no, I think it's a great idea, and if you put some structure around it on paper, then I don't see the problem with it at all.
Hey, Mark, just changing tact on diesel prices. And another comment you made, and all of your wonderful years of wisdom where you've seen multiple oil shocks, in comparison how we're going with this particular one and how it stacks up. How long do you reckon we're going to be going through this for?
Well, last time I tried to ring Donald Trump, he wasn't picking up on me, and he's cut me off from a Facebook friend. So I'm having to run on second-hand information. But one of the things that I tend to do, for great entertainment, you go and look on oilprice.com and you see the trends and all of that. But if you dig deeply into there, you find the oil futures contracts, and you can look out to 2029, 3 years, and see the prices that the traders think the oil is going to be. And we're right back into the $70s and $80 a barrel sort of zone. So that tells us that they're the ones who are making big bets on this oil price, and they probably have more best intel of anyone, because they're betting millions of dollars a time on trades. So longer term, look, yeah, it's a pain in the neck. Yeah, it's a real pain. I mean, it's just a couple $100 to fill a decent ute now. That hurts. It's not so bad for us sheep farmers and that, because it's still a lamb per tank, but for everyone else, I know that's diabolical. And I listen to what poor old David Clark down in mid-Canterbury does, filling his header and not making money out of harvesting grain anyway, and then having to spend money to dry it on diesel.
Yeah.
So let's just look further out and use a bit of natural, a bit of intelligence, a natural intel, and that just might give people a little bit more encouragement.
Blocka, you've got your solar, and have you got an electric side-by-side now? Did I see that?
Yeah, where did you see that? Oh, are you talking to me? Who are we talking to?
No, talking to Blocka. Yeah.
We've had solar in since October, so just before those big winds hit Southland, and we bought a electric side by side about a month ago. So it's just a bit more low hanging fruit we could pick off and chop out 4 or 5 grand's worth of petrol costs. So, like Mark talking about combine filling, I've got to fill the combine tomorrow to do the last harvest job, and that'll be the best part of $3.5 grand to fill the combine. So it hurts. There's no doubt about that, but we can't do a lot about it. It is what it is, and we just got to get on with it. And like last time I looked at the futures market a couple of weeks ago, you come sort of mid-August and it's dropping away pretty sharply again. But that was before the strait's been open and closed a couple of times, and Trumpy's had his volatile verbal diarrhea spill. So anything can happen. The only certainty in the world at the moment is uncertainty, right?
Yep, we're one good tweet away from a disaster, basically, the world that we live in.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much. Blair, Blocka, Drysdale, Mark, Warren joining us on our weekly farmer panel. Really appreciate your time. Covered a lot of good ground there with those two.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Peas in a pod, those two, really, though.
Yep, yeah.
I know. So, no, well done.
How the hell you'd seen it? We were keeping our electric side-by-side, which I borrowed from a mate. We were keeping that quiet, and I wondered how the hell you'd seen it.
Yeah, I did pick up on that. You were like, I've been busted. See, because, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate your time.
CountryWide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lampp.